This is an old folktale, one you may already know of, or one you may have never heard of. Please keep in mind, I'm only retelling it from the memories I have, or perhaps the memories I once had. A long time ago, many eons ago, far before I was even thought of, there was a goddess within the depths of the ocean. She created things. She controlled things. She was more than just a sea witch. She was more brilliant than any philosopher or scholar. She understood the mind in ways psychology can't even begin to grasp yet. Though, shall she choose to show her secrets, things could change. This ocean legend, this goddess of the ocean, many have mistaken her for a male deity of sorts. Some think she's half human, some depictions show her as a siren, a dark mermaid, a Lovecraftian blessing, a horror of nightmares of sailors and lighthouses. However, in one day of just reading and writing in my own life, I discovered what she meant. Eons ago, a beautiful young girl was gazing at the ocean, having moonlight dreams on a lonely beach. This was many decades before we had GPS, or anything of the kind to help save one another, or at least save what's left of one another. She was on her lonely beach, as she was every night, just daydreaming, just nightmaring through her life. The world was much crueler than she thought she could imagine at the time. In the year of something 23, as I mentioned multiple times, it was a long time ago. In the year of how many bajillion years, eons of 23, she found herself mesmerized by the ocean. She studied things like philosophy, wanted to learn from people like Plato, Socrates, all the greats. But those she studied under didn't believe in her. Even then there were myths of dark secrets within the infinite waters of the uncharted ocean. The Americas had yet to be found. The world was still seen to be flat by many. Even the ocean wasn't seen fully through the lights in the sky. Until that girl drowned. She was drowning in something no one could comprehend. She took one wrong step into the wrong part of the sea. After gently washing herself of the tears she drowns in, now she was no longer drowning in what were her only tears. She was drowning into the darkest infinite fears of life, the uncharted territory that has since been studied miraculously and meticulously. She was swallowed, many said at the time, by the great beastly demonic deity, the ruler, the king of the ocean, whatever mythical male deity that may have been. But I had a dream about her. She didn't simply drown and become a worshiper of some false male deity. She didn't simply wish upon a dark night within the moonlight skies of a dark glassy ocean. That's too simple, too easy, and too simplistic in its own tragedy. She drowned into the depths of the ocean. And within those depths, she found herself, sinking to the deepest, darkest, what was seen to be the most soulless part of the earth itself, the entirety of the ends of the ocean, the darkest part of our earth. And she found her power. She was strong. She was brave. She succeeded. She became both loved and feared. She connected to many souls, gave birth to many legends, deities, monsters, goddesses, sirens, mythological geniuses of all types, of all races, and ages. A legend she is. A legend she will forever be. That girl who drowned. Did she ever come back up? Many modern scholars always joke that she never could. Only through some sort of subconscious manifestation, what crackery many would say. Now I'm not a worshipper of this ocean goddess. I've only studied her in passing. Having read how she drowned in the tears of herself and in the tears of the ocean, she does make a lot more sense to me. I think sometimes I find her relatable. Other times, frighteningly relatable. She did drown. She did feel no hand reach for her until studies became popular to find out more about who she was when she was human. Now that she was no longer human, she was invincible, unbreakable, undeniable. She could not be ignored. She could be feared, loved, and hated all in the same breath. But she never stopped. For given in that depth of the ocean was eternal life. Not a hell nor a heaven. A different existence altogether. Something that every person may fear or lust after. But this ocean queen who drowned, this goddess of goddesses who started out as a normal person, a normal young woman, eons ago, found herself as the greatest legend of all time. Before the term goat was popular, she found herself. She became the fear, the horror, the cosmic delight, because the ocean is still far from known to us, even with the best marine biologists, even with scratching the surface of the anthropological side of things. We could never truly understand her. I've had dreams about what her creatures and friends down there may look like. Has she become some sort of protective mother figure of the seas of which she has bonded to? Or rather, the seas which she bound to herself? Perhaps, but I think what's more interesting is that she only visits me when I think it's better to drown. In a way, she provides a lifeboat I never knew existed, a power that lies within all females, all women. Yes, those connected to the ocean may see it quicker and clearer than others, but she's not limited to the mind's biases, implicit or explicit. She's something greater, something more. Indescribable, yet totally relatable. She drowned. She never seemed to come back up. But her legend did. So in a sense, when she drowned and her legends became lethal, she did arise. But only during the full moon would she contact me. When it waxed and waned, I heard her stories in my mind, but I let them fester first. But when a full moon was upon me, I knew, one day in my heart, she'd connect with me. The mother of the sea herself, born out of sadness and rage, to become man's greatest fear and woman's greatest power. This goddess, this legend, this fearsome creature, a self-made creation by the very definition, not swallowed by pride or vengeance, but giving birth to those ideals in some fashion. The girl who drowned became the ocean goddess who reigns. That's all I know of her for now. But someday, she'll tell me more.